Well, it is the third week of LCS with coverage brought to you by Alienware. It's the second day. I'm joined right now by Fudge from Cloud9 after a victory against TSM. Quite the rivalry and quite the game. How did you guys bounce back from that? Because the beginning of it was fairly one-sided. I think a lot of people were like, okay, well, TSM's got this.
Yeah, definitely in the game, I felt some voices being a little bit sad, depressed when we were behind. But I think in general, they make a lot of mistakes. Obviously, we do as well. But when we have a scaling composition, especially Orianna, Camille, I think Summit played really, really well in the team fights. And they made a lot of positioning errors against like Orianna Bull, for example, which allowed us to come back into the game even though we were really, really far behind.
Yeah. When you're hearing those sad voices, is there anybody on the team that's like rallying you guys to get to a better spot, or is it just literally Orianna Ball misplay for them that ends up getting you guys back?
Usually people are like, it's fine, we can still win. That's like every single time we die. But I know that's like copium, you know. People are actually just like thinking in their head, wow, the game's lost, but they still say it, you know. So it's fine.
Okay. I didn't know if there's like a central figure on the team where like other people are feeling down and somebody's like, guys, we've got this, it's fine.
Usually there's no central figure. It's just the people who are usually like, you know, not the ones dying say it.
Okay. Somebody dies, somebody goes, oh, it's fine. Okay, gotcha. All right. So I will ask various questions here, which I know you can't come out and be like, here's a play-by-play of how everything went down with Ellis's departure, right. But some community questions, I think, some questions out there. Did you buy Leandries on Corki last night as a tribute to LS, which is what everybody seems to think?
No, I thought it was the best purchase in the game. This game that I played on Orianna was actually a really bad buy because my Karthus was buying it anyway and they don't stack. Gotcha. So I realized after I bought the component that it was a bad buy, yes. And I wasn't going to buy it because of LS, but it just happened to be that way.
Okay. So you know that everybody's going to think that now today was also because of that.
Yes, I know that, but okay. That's why I tweeted that it was a mistake.
Okay. Gotcha. I think some people will probably say, wow, C9 made him go tweet that. Were you tweeting that under duress?
No, I was definitely not tweeting that under duress, okay. Guys.
What about this person who's standing right here who's staring intently? I'm just kidding. Nobody's here. Off camera. Okay. A lot of people also felt like the team was on tilt last night playing because of the news. Obviously, I know you can only necessarily speak for yourself, but do you think that there's any idea to the fact that, like, big surprise or anything like that ends up causing the team to play differently?
I would say that there's probably like a valid part to that. I would say that like it's harder to focus obviously when there's a lot of other things going on, a lot of other stressful things. Yes. But I also think people were like slightly tilted because we weren't really practicing what we were going to play on stage. Like the comp that we played in game 1, we'd never played the entire scrim week. So people were like a little bit uncomfortable. Yes. And I think it was a mix of everything really. Like obviously it's very stressful. We don't play what we practiced, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so what is causing all this? Because I feel like every time you guys go on, everybody's like, we never play this. So you're playing Soraka for the first time. You guys are playing comp you never play. Like, how do these things happen in the game?
First week, before the Ivan game, yes. We only played Ivan in scrims. Okay. Second week, I don't even remember what I played actually anymore. I played Zillion. Okay, I played Zillion in second game that I never played before. That game, it was just like, Blabber was just like, it's fine. Zillion is really broken. It doesn't matter if you're bad at it. Yeah. We just play it. This week, I'm really comfortable with my champions. Corki and Orianna, I'm pretty comfortable on because I played them in scrims. But the specific comps, we didn't play too much. The second game, we actually played quite a bit. The first day, though, we didn't play any like front-to-back sort of comps with like Zinzao, Corki, blah, blah, blah.
So how do you guys end up on that? Is it just like pick and ban happens and like by the end of it you're like, oh shit, this is a comp we haven't played before? Or is it a situation where you guys are just dynamically responding and you realize you have to play this comp? Like, how do you end up in these situations?
At the start of the week, we didn't prepare well against what they had previously drafted. Gotcha. And we expected them to ban certain champions that they didn't ban, which makes the draft look a lot different. Okay. And that's basically what happened, especially for first game of this week, where I was playing Corki.
All right. Another question. How are you doing with the news? Because, again, there's a lot of people who are worried for you guys, and they're like, oh, man, Fudge is so close to LS, and, like, he's going to take this so hard. So, like, I guess, can I just ask you how you're doing right now?
For me, I already sort of knew it was going to happen like before when it happened.
Okay.
So I had already like I already like knew what was going to happen, so it wasn't like too bad for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, like once all all the reasons come out for why it happened, blah blah blah, people will know like why it happened. But for me, it was like whilst it was happening, I sort of knew that there was problems. Then once it finally happened, I was like, yeah, I sort of expected it to happen.
Okay.
So it was like it wasn't too bad of a shock to me.
You were not playing in a state of shock yesterday.
Yes,
You're not like, oh my
like,
god,
what the fuck happened?
Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Are you? I mean, I know difficult question because you work with the team. Do you have any resentment or ill will right now? Are you Are you upset with the current situation? Again, just kind of trying to find out because I think a lot of fans are worried for you guys.
I'm not upset about like the situation with LS. I have some I'm a little bit disappointed, upset with our preparation.
Yeah.
I think that's like a very big problem that regardless of LS we have to fix. So I'm actually more upset with like how we're practicing leading up to the stage games than the actual LS situation. And I don't feel like it's a really bad situation, just because I think that it probably was the best outcome for the both parties, just because it wasn't really working.
Gotcha. Okay. So it sounds like you've accepted it.
I've accepted it, I would say.
All right. Is this team now a dog shit team, or going to lose just last place? Oh my God, free fall. Because I've read some online analysis that would indicate that that's what's happening now.
No, I would definitely not say our team's very bad.
Okay.
I still think we're like a top 4 team. Obviously, we have so much to work on, especially with like our champion pools. I think are limited, especially like me. I play a lot of enchanters, not very good at like all the mages, and I'm not really comfortable with all the matchups. I think that's something I need to work on specifically. But I think that the idea that our team is complete garbage all of a sudden out of nowhere, when it's all the same players, I think is untrue. I do agree that like LS helped a lot in terms of like creativity when it came to draft.
Yes.
I think that was something like by far his like biggest like contribution to the team is like his ability to figure out these picks in certain scenarios in draft. But I still think we'll, as a team, figure out ways to get a lot better and then eventually be a very good team by the end of spring.
Okay, so then you kind of got to my next question, which is, should we expect creativity? Like, is this gone? You kind of said that was his biggest contribution. Now he's gone. So these really fun comps, these really fun champions, these unusual things, is that going to be gone from the team?
I would say it's probably going to be toned down just because I think LS was a very big like proponent of playing drafts that no one would expect because they wouldn't have any practice against it. They'll be really caught off guard, which I think is a valid reasons to play these comps. But I think in general, I think it's very likely that we'll play more closer to standard, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I know we kind of you did another interview besides this, so I don't want to keep you for too long. But is there anything you want to say to any of the C9 fans out there? Because again, I'll tell you what I said to Max last night, which is like there are people out there that are scared, confused, they're lost. You know, they're just like, oh God, like my reason for watching LCS is over. Anything you want to say to folks out there?
Soon you will get clarity on the situation, and we're still going to be a very good team. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Fudge, for the interview. I really do appreciate you doing this. I know you could have ducked out of doing stuff yesterday and today, and you did it anyway, so I really, really respect that. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching that interview. I am back at the studio, which is so good. I hope you guys are enjoying these. I feel like the interviews are better, and I couldn't be here if it wasn't for sponsors like Alienware, who help make sure that I can have a wonderful person to be behind the cameras. We're doing 4K video again, which is something we started back in 2019. We're happy to be able to bring back using Alienware hardware. So if you are appreciating this new content, which is also old content because it's just old content that's made new again. Anyway, if you appreciate it, check out the link in the description for me, alienware.com/Travis. Use the code, get something cool.